You'll be glad you tuned in today. We'll talk with Senator Stan Adelstein about freedom in these United States. We'll also talk to Father Janusz Korban about his experiences with life under communism in Poland. We'll also hear from Wayne Williams, and you'll hear from Gordon Howie and yours truly about the ballot issues that'll be on the ballot for you Tuesday. Stay tuned.
Ed, I'd like to share with you and our viewers why we should all vote no on all the ballot questions. You know, ballot questions deal with some important issues. State law also requires that the Secretary of State publishes 2 points of view on every issue. It's unfortunate that most of these issues don't present an opposing viewpoint. One is present only because the court compelled the Secretary to publish it.
Well, you know, I do believe that voters should say no on all the ballot issues. For example, on Amendment M, it allows the legislature to make changes in the way corporations do business. The amendment gives the legislature the ability to change current regulations, but does not give any specifics on how they would be changed.
Well, you're right, Ed. And corporations have been doing business successfully in South Dakota for decades under current law. And if changes are needed, they should be very specific rather than casting this broad net that allows more control by the legislature and state government. A no vote keeps the legislature from passing the law so we can find out what's in it. That's bad policy.
Absolutely. And how about Amendment N?
As in no?
Yes. This one allows the legislature to set the reimbursement amount for mileage. The Constitution currently provides for 5 cents per mile. Now, we would all agree that that's not adequate in today's economy.
Well, that's certainly true, but voters should ask this question. Does this proposal identify a specific solution? The simple answer is no, it doesn't. It just gives the legislature a blank check. It's like putting the fox in charge of the hen house. Sort of. A good proposal would identify a specific solution rather than just giving the legislature the broad authority to set their own reimbursement levels. A no vote prevents the legislature from having that blank check.
Agreed. So on to Amendment O.
As in OO.
This proposed change to the Constitution would change the distribution of funds from a state trust fund from $12 million to 4% of the market value of the fund. Proponents suggest that in bad economic times, the funds could be depleted. And that appears to be a valid point.
Well, that's true, but the problem is, again, there's no opposing viewpoint. And here is the other side of that story. The problem is not addressed, which is at least equal as important. What happens when the economy rebounds? Some of us pray that it does. The answer to that question is it would then allow the legislature to spend even more money. Having served in the legislature and watched them work, I can tell you if more money is available, they will spend it. An easy solution to the problem would have been to place a lid of $12 million on what could be taken. That was conveniently not included in this amendment, and it's been not talked about. It allows the opportunity for the legislature to increase spending levels without anyone really noticing. You know how that works? A no vote will compel the legislature to present a solution that prevents increases in spending.
I see. Well, now we have Amendment P. It's called
as in poppycock.
It's called a balanced budget proposal, but this amendment to the Constitution is anything but balanced. Currently, the Constitution says that expenses cannot exceed revenues. That is balanced.
Well, you're right, Ed. This change would allow the governor to manipulate anticipated, love that word, anticipated revenues as a means to increase spending. Currently, spending can only be increased by adding a tax. This proposed change provides easy cover for politicians to increase spending. A no vote keeps the governor and the legislature accountable to taxpayers.
Well, let's move to Initiated Measure 15. And this is a 25% tax increase.
Not much discussion really needed on that. A change of 25% of taxes going up, bad idea. A no vote holds the line on taxes.
And how about referred law 14 then? This law takes nearly 1/4 or 22% of the contractor's excise tax and gives it to large economic development projects.
Oh, sounds so developing.
Yeah, and this law is based on several flawed premises.
Yes, in fact, one of them, Ed, is that real job creation and economic development happens as a result of small companies. That's the wrong approach. The right approach to economic development would be to lower the excise tax on job creators by reducing the contractor's excise tax by 25%. That would produce real economic development in South Dakota, and it would help family businesses rather than a few select big fat cats. A no vote prevents what I call taking from the poor and giving to the rich in the name of economic development.
Kind of reverse Robin Hood, huh?
Bingo. Bullseye.
Referred Law 16. Education reform is the mask on this proposed new law. It actually expands the intrusion of state government into local control over schools.
Oh, that's just what we need. It also creates 6 new boards, councils, or work groups. Don't you love that terminology? Which includes nearly 100 people plus the additional staff. If you like more government, you'll love this new law. A no vote, Ed, stops more state control and prevents the creation of another level of bureaucracy. Well, that's a short rundown of why voters should once again adopt the Nancy Reagan plan.
Just say no.